Mike, I'm going to start out with the easy question. How is the state of the avionics industry?
It's good. We're excited to be here in Phoenix. You can tell from the show floor that it's a good industry. Lots of innovation here, lots of excitement. I feel like I say that every time I talk to you.
But it's true.
But it's true.
Yeah.
Right? It's true. And so you saw that with the new product introductions on Monday, which I appreciate you guys covering for us, on Tuesday, sorry. You can tell from that there's some good excitement with new innovations, some opportunities for these shops and manufacturers. So it's good. Our focus this year has been the workforce piece. It's not just this year, but we're excited to bring some things out this year that's new for us. So we've got a lot going on that side. So from a shop perspective, where they're concerned about their backlog and their capacity and their ability to fit everybody in, we're working on the solutions for them. So we're excited about that too. It's not just the products and the innovation; it's the things that are happening on the personnel side too. So good year.
Sounds like. Big announcement has been your involvement in certification and training.
Correct.
Let's hit you with another big one.
Okay.
What's that all about? Give us the skinny on that program, and where is it going to go?
Yeah, so Certified Aircraft Electronic Technician, CAET. That is an AEA certification that we launched on Tuesday here at the show, and it is the culmination of 2 decades of experience in standards development and certification through another party, through a third party, and we felt like as an industry it needed our brand to help it sort of redefine this new standard that we created with ASTM. So it was,
well, face it, you didn't have much to do anyway, right?
We didn't. Yeah, our schedule was light, so we decided to tackle this. But it started with our involvement with ASTM and our standards group there, and we've been part of that for, like I said, 20 some odd years, and that standard came up for review, and we took it upon ourselves to pull in industry experts, folks from our workforce development committee, rewrite that standard, and then while we were doing that, we were thinking, what's the end game here? We have a nice standard for personnel in the avionics field, but what are we doing to recognize them? And for a long time, the association has underwritten the testing for the aircraft electronics technician, which has been great, and we fully supported that for a very long time. We thought, the association's got an opportunity to take this kind of to the next level, and so that's part of the program. Get it launched. Make it a stackable certification. You can show a career progression. Obviously, there's going to be involvement with the show, our training, recertification, that sort of thing. So we're really excited about be able to show a career path for avionics technicians now. There's a lot that will come out of this.
How will this be implemented? If somebody who wants to come into the industry, knows they need training, doesn't have a whole lot of guides, how will this affect them? What will they do to take advantage of it?
So initially it's going to launch through partner schools. We teamed up with the Unmanned Safety Institute, USI, as a certification partner.
Okay.
But it turns out, they've been operating in the drone space for more than a decade. They're in, I think, 300 different schools, all 50 states.
Wow. Okay.
So they've been through this process of reaching out to career technical education centers and work-based learning centers and introducing drones from an operations side to them. So they've got that experience and, frankly, the manpower and the horsepower to help us. So that door's been opened. So as a partner with us, they're going to supplement what they currently do with the avionics piece and our certification. So arguably, we'll immediately be exposed to high schools in all 50 states.
Okay.
Some of their partners already, the 300 some odd schools, and it may depend on that school's resources. But right off the bat, they see a fit as a complement to what they're doing in the emerging technology space, which is great for us because we're seeing that in our show as well. So it's a natural fit, good certification partner, and they have that infrastructure that we didn't have to rebuild, which is nice. We can focus on working with our shops, working with our schools.
Build on what they've got rather than trying to start something from scratch.
You got it.
Well, one of the things that we've been talking about here throughout the week is the hiring process and how difficult it's become. Find people who, one, want jobs, two, are qualified for the jobs, and three, in a position to take them. So the announcement of this process, a lot of people are still looking at all, but it's been welcomed significantly simply because that pipeline needs to be increased.
Correct. It's hard. We hired a dedicated workforce development director a couple of years ago, and that's one person. We're a small team, as we've talked about over the years. We're resource constrained, but we can leverage those partnerships where people have expertise, they have connections and questions about this particular industry, and we've got some answers for them. We've got subject matter experts that help us develop this stuff, and it's relevant. It's relevant to other fields. Mm-hmm. It's high tech. It's exciting, and it's kind of nice to be on the forefront, the cutting edge of technology. We've always said that. Every time we talk about the cool part that we get to do with avionics, but it's kind of neat to see that make it to the classroom finally. And I'm not saying it hasn't been there, because we have 60 academic member schools already that have been doing some form of an avionics program mm-hmm. over the years, since I've started many moons ago. But this takes it to another level. It takes it to the high school level, and maybe even junior high eventually.
Really?
It's possible, right? There's
wow.
Things can spring off of this that will get it down to that level, and really develop that pipeline for our shops and manufacturers. I mean, this isn't just about being a technician. This could be engineering, sales, marketing.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of things.
It's funny, I was listening to Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
He was talking about technical training and all. He's just such a, he's pushing it so aggressively because, one, go out, learn something, two, get a job. The college environment is fine if you can hack it and this, that, and the other, but to be perfectly honest, what do you want to do? If there's somebody who can teach you what you want to do and put you there, go for it.
Right.
And the avionics industry is perfect. It's a great community.
Yeah.
It is no hyperbole when I say, we go to Oshkosh, we go to Sun and Fun, we go to all these places. We are more relaxed and more feeling a position of belonging to an industry as we do here.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just such a great community, and we like working with you guys over so many years. And we watch this industry grow. We watch this industry work through a number of interesting issues. And it's a great place. I mean, if one of my nieces or nephews were looking in this area, this is the first place I'd recommend.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go. So
I agree. It's and the future's bright. Technology's really changing. The aircraft we're looking at, that are on the horizon, are super exciting. The legacy product, retrofitting that, there's really neat things happening there.
Especially right now.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting that story told, and we're getting better at it, Jim. We've been
great.
working on it for a while, but we're getting better at it, and I think there's some real opportunities there for us. So.
I'm going to hit you with a Rick Perry question.
Okay.
Washington, changes are afoot.
Sure.
How do you see that affecting both the organization as well as the community?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of unknowns. Stability in the administration will be nice. I think, we talk about this a lot in Rick's sessions and with our members. There's a lot of A's behind senior level folks, mm-hmm. acting. I think when you get that sorted and you get some clarity in, those org charts, so to speak, we've got long-standing relationships. I feel like on our side, that's not as big of a concern. There's mm-hmm. still questions, right? There's things on flight standards and cert side that, affect everybody, but getting an administrator is great. That happened this week.
Yep.
So, I think that starts it. I know, separate this particular agency out and let's talk in general terms about all federal agencies.
Yeah.
There's definitely some winds of change. Fortunately,
more like turbulence.
Turbulence, let's call it that. I do feel like from a transportation side, certainly from the aviation side, there's definitely an importance on what we do. And I think it's probably less affected than some of these others. It's clear it is, right? So maybe we come out of that with less headwind. But we're going to stay focused on it, keep Rick focused on it, work with our sister associations as we do.
Crack the whip on Rick, yeah, there you go.
But I think it's an opportunity, though, as I said in the opening, to help modernize, streamline, make it more efficient, and make it a win for us.
There you go.
So.
In the past, before you ascended to the throne, you and I would talk about educational programs, scholarships, and the like.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to leave that out now that you're the Grand Poobah. So, what's happening in the scholarship programs?
Still growing. Yeah. In fact, we added another good-sized scholarship this year. Aircraft lighting. Thank you. Stepped up with a $5,000 award, and so that program's still growing. Number of applications is growing. There's still interest. I think we're going to see, quite a bit more interest with our exposure with this program, the CAET program.
Yeah, that's a handshake, isn't it?
That's right. It's just going to be automatic.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been good, and continuing to do that. I mean, the foundation was started in 1990. We've, I don't know, ballpark probably close to $2 million in awards over the years, and thousands of students. And it's fun to see them.
That's not chump change.
No, and we're starting to see them. It's neat to see them come back to the show, whether they've been awarded a Learn to Fly scholarship through us, or got to go one of our academic members on scholarship. They're in industry now, so it's kind of neat to follow up with them.
That's got to be tremendously satisfying.
It's great, and we have a whole new crew back at our skills competition. That's right in the middle of it.
I think that's where Holland is right now. So
okay.
We've been watching the activity. There's just so much happening in this industry, and the funny part is that if you compare the various aspects of aviation, whether it be airframe or power plant or avionics, nothing has driven as much change in aviation as has aviation and electronics.
Oh yeah.
And of course, with electrics now on the cusp, it's going to get even more interesting.
Yeah. There's innovation, there's disruption. Every
I
turn,
love disruption.
Disruption. And you think, we always think of in terms of the cockpit, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on in the cabin, a lot, and you can tell from the show. Yeah. There's a lot going on there. There's a ton of opportunity.
We're talking to Astronics and Collins and the rest, and they're not sitting on their duffs.
No. It's an exciting time.
Indeed. How is the organization doing? Well, you've been running it. How long has it been now?
6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
I was going to guess at 5.
Yeah.
But boy, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh yeah.
How is AEA as an organization growing and evolving?
We're healthy. Yeah. Membership. We focus on that. Obviously, expanding our market, but staying focused on who we are too. Right. We're not just. It's not just anybody. We've changed some of that. We've talked in the past about our strategic plan and executing that. So we've opened up a couple areas. We're focused on the designees and the delegates and bringing them in. We've got that as part of our show now. We had our 3rd annual delegates conference, which is day 1 was today, and that'll conclude tomorrow. So we're excited about the opportunity to serve that community. I think there's a lot that we can do there. And so that's growing. And then, we got through, it was 5 years ago, I canceled my first show as the president, and thought I was off to a heck of a start.
That's a fine welcome.
Way to go, yeah. Well, we picked the right guy.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah. So that was 5 years ago, and it's been a good road back. Honestly, there's a reset, of course, but we've escaped all that. Looking back, good for us to get through it. But we're healthy. We're financially strong. The membership's growing. We're about to hit a new peak number for us, so we're excited about that. And just making sure we're cognizant of what's going on in the marketplace, so we can serve those new frontiers and not lose sight of where we started, 68 years ago.
Well, speaking of new frontiers, the aviation industry is evolving. The big A word, autonomous, shows up more and more and more. And frankly, for those of us who fly, we're just kind of wondering, okay, are we about to be kicked to the curb? But obviously that is going to be so avionics driven.
Sure.
I mean, nothing will be more important, especially since the power plants now are going all electric.
Right.
And the monitoring and health systems and so forth, don't even get me started on batteries, or don't get Todd and Van started
Yeah.
on batteries.
Yeah.
Everything is on the cusp of dramatic change. Are you ready?
You know, I think we're uniquely ready because we're already wired.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some things with, you know, higher voltage and infrastructure and stuff that will be different for how it's handled. But from a systems perspective, software perspective, technology perspective, I think we're doing it already. I mean, autonomy is, you know, technically we've got autonomy already in some aircraft if you hit a certain button, right? So, so I think we're there. The nice thing is we'll see evolutionary change in some of those systems. Manufacturers are already working on that. I think there's a lot of automation in the cockpit that will come out that we're excited to see that maybe makes it to the retrofit market. Yeah, we're ready. I feel pretty excited about that piece.
Yeah, the problem is you and nobody else.
But I think, you know, while we're waiting for rules and regulations, policies, all those sorts of infrastructure, and all the things that, you know, well, and certification and whatnot, I think the nice thing with avionics manufacturers is, you know, they know how to bring things to market a lot quicker. They're more nimble, more capable. They've been thinking of these things for years anyways. So I think we'll have some work to do on the training side, and you know, bringing upskilling the technicians and that sort of thing. But you know, that's something we've been doing for 68 years anyways.
Avionics, the technology and the industry are built on the backbone of shops that are all over the country, hundreds and hundreds of them. There's some amazing people out there, and I've had some amazing work done over the years in various projects. Do you see their health as exceptional as the rest of the overall industry is at this point?
I think it's hit and miss. I might temper that compared to prior years. From our conversations, of course, we have a board meeting in conjunction with our show, and you know, we go around and kind of talk about backlogs and where you're at. We're seeing the backlogs taper a little bit, you know, in the 5 to 6 months range, or 3 to 4 months range instead of the 6 to 8 months range. So maybe a little more subdued than years past.
Okay.
I think product innovation will help that. I know there's going to be some things coming out this year that will help that, but then there's administration change. There was a little bit of a pause in the fall. There's the market health has a direct correlation to what's going on in our industry. So discretionary spending, there's factors for sure, but I also think there's sort of this period of, wait and see, understand, see where the opportunities are. It does not seem to be hurting the shops. And for everyone that we may have closed because someone's getting out of the business, retiring, selling off, there's a new one that opens.
Yeah.
It's almost one for one for us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mike, if there's a message you want to send to the rest of the aviation community, the folks that are not as deeply entrenched in avionics as the folks on this floor, to let the GA and the Biz Av and the Sport Av and Commercial Av folks know, what is it that you want them to know about the health of the avionics community and the services you provide?
I think given the climate of the last couple of months and things that have happened, I think it's important to say we're safe. We're safe.
Yeah.
We're the safest. And what's going on in this room, these folks are working on that technology to make it even safer. And we're laser focused on that. Sustainable. We're not the pollutants that you say we are. These are tools that are used for a lot of very important things, from EMS to police, firefighting. It's first and foremost, it's those things, right? And then yeah, it's an incredible business tool. It's an incredible recreational tool. It's just plain fun.
Yep.
And
so to speak.
Yeah, right. To use that however you'd like, but you know, and it's an exciting industry, and there's a lot of opportunity in it. And I've been in it now nearly 30 years, and definitely seen our ups and downs. But it's a healthy industry worldwide, and there's just a ton of opportunity out there, and we're just appreciative of all the folks that help make it work for us as well.
Very good.
Yeah.
Mike Adamson, the boss of AEA and the fellow who has been bringing this to the aviation community over the last 6 years as the boss, and many years before. 30, you say?
Almost.
God, we're getting old. I mean, damn. I mean, holy smokes. I can't thank enough for spending time. I can't thank enough for continuing to work with us and welcoming us to work with you folks every year at the convention and at various other places throughout the year. Yeah, Oshkosh is bigger, yes, Sunnyfun's bigger, but we enjoy this and we're more comfortable here than any place.
Appreciate
we feel a part of this community, and we feel quite welcomed, and it's fun. And we know everybody's name now, and you know, getting a little inbred, but we're doing okay.
Right. That's
Mike,
good.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Aero-News Network's coverage of the 68th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show, live from Phoenix, Arizona, is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.
The future of USB charging power has arrived. Introducing new, ultra-fast charging TA360 USB chargers. Unlock the power of USB Power Delivery (PD) technology. Max power. Multiple configurations. In-seat cabin, cockpit, and galley USB power. And a direct upgrade for all True Blue Power USB chargers, compatible with any USB electronic device. Easy to install. Backed by the best. True Blue Power, the USB experts.